Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today I'm doing a piece that I was inspired by an artist on Instagram called Scrappy Chick, who'd done this beautiful black page with a really interesting background, but the thing that really caught my eye about it was the way she used the white collage words from Dina Wakley. Just all of it together, but she just had such a clear, crisp white contrast that I wanted to have a go because I'm really struggling with using the white collage papers in my work at the moment. So I'm starting off in the cotton rag paper in the Dina Wakley book, and I've just put a really light coat of gesso on it. Now I was still on this kick of trying to use my scribble sticks lots. So I started out by drying off my gesso and thinking about how I was going to apply the scribble sticks to the background. Because in the previous challenge piece that you would have seen me do, while I applied stuff to the background, I wasn't particularly happy with how they all went together, and I wanted to practice more with my scribble sticks. So I'm just wetting the paper and then I'm activating the end of the the end of the scribble stick in a pot of water just off to the side, and then I'm just applying some pigment to the page. So I'm using the pink and spreading it out, scribbling on the yellow. You can see that it's quite a pigmented look. It kind of gives you almost like a watercolor effect, but it doesn't really act like watercolor. So it's just one of those little odd things. There's lots of different water soluble medias on the market. They all act in a slightly different way. These ones are a more waxy pigment stick. Well, not waxy, but they're a harder pigment stick than some of the others. Some are quite soft. This one's quite a hard pigment stick. So you do need to soak it in for a little while as you are to get it activated. Once it's activated, it's quite juicy. So you can see I'm just flicking off the end with a clean paintbrush just to get some splats and different colours in the background. And it gives you a very soft colour. Even though these are quietly pigmented and bright, you still get that sort of soft watercolor effect, which I quite like in the background. Now I wasn't being too particular about what I was doing here. This is really just a practice page to see what I liked, what worked, what didn't work. The reason I wasn't too concerned about it was because I knew I was going to cover most of it up with black paint at the end. So I was actually going into this process knowing this is just a practice, because it doesn't matter whether you like it or not, you're still going to cover it up, which is a bit of a daunting process sometimes, but it's good to have that in your mind if that's what you're going to do, that it's okay to practice, and if it's really bad, you're going to cover it up anyway. So I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more interest to this, so I get out my acrylic paints, again by Dina Wakley, so they really replicate the colours of the scribble sticks. And you can see how little paint I am using, and I'm using up all of it and getting this really soft effect going across my page. So this is one of her combination stencils that she's got, which is 3 different patterns on it, which I really like, because you can get a lot of bang for your buck with it. So I've sped up this process now a little bit from before, because it's basically the same thing over and over again. So again, tiny little bit of paint and using it on your sponge till it's all gone. This is one of my favourite stencils. I use it an awful lot. So again, going in the yellow to replicate the yellow I had in the background. Dina Wakley, when she talks about her artwork, talks a lot about repetition. So either repeating symbols or colours over and over using a few different media. So I've used the yellow in the scribble sticks, now I'm using it in the paint, and same with the purple and same with the pink. So you've got that repetition happening throughout your work, and it just gives you different shades and different colours of what you're going to do. So I decided that I was going to put some stamping in as well, just to add a little bit more to it. This is one of her stamp sets. I'm on a bit of a Dina Wakley run at the moment. When I cleaned up my stamp room, all her stuff floated to the top again, so that tends to be the first thing I'm grabbing. I also had these distress oxides out for a different project, so I thought I'd use those because I had them and they're in pretty much the same colours I was using, so the pinks and the purples. So you can see this getting busier and busier with the different layers. And again, you're only actually going to see a little bit of this. So it's just practicing and seeing what goes together and what doesn't. Then when I finish this, I'm trying to find some stencils that I want to use, which are the mask stencils, again from Dina Wakley, to get these abstract shapes on my page. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it and where I was going to do it, or if I was going to draw them myself, but I decided to stick with the ones that she had to begin with. Now, one of these stencils deliberately actually has a head that's detached, so you need to be really careful not to lose that in your pack. You'll also see me, I'm taking a photo of the page that I had because I actually really liked it, and I knew that if I didn't like what I was about to do, at least I had a record of what I had underneath so I could try and replicate that somewhere else in my journal. And to be honest, I think I'm actually going to do that, because while the page that I create in the end did exactly what I wanted to achieve, and it was sort of what I wanted to achieve, I wasn't particularly happy with how I did it. So it's good to have those pages in your journal, because that's what it's all about, practicing and seeing what works, what doesn't work, what you're happy with, what you're not happy with. And the thing that I really take away from this is, if I'm not happy with it, why am I not happy with it? What didn't work on this to make you feel not great about it? For me, in this composition, it was a bit long. The figures, I think I probably should have drawn my own figures on it to make them a bit taller on the page. They got a little bit lost. I got so frustrated with the white words on this page and how they didn't work. I think that really put me off the whole page, which is a really stupid thing to do, because it's only one component of the whole thing. The contrast of the black and the coloured background I actually quite like. Just so I didn't lose the head of that mask, if you didn't notice as I put it away, I just put a little bit of washi tape on it as I put it away, just to make sure that it didn't go wandering in my tub of craziness. So these are the white collage words I'm talking about. Now, I absolutely adore the theory of these, that you can put them down onto dark surfaces and you can get the white text or picture or whatever it is coming up. The thing that I don't like, and I've said this a lot of time in my videos about all the different collage tissues, is I really hate when you can see the collage tissue. I like it to go as transparent as possible. And you can see here it's starting to go transparent. I was thinking, oh yeah, it's going to work. One of the things I did use on this to glue it down is a soft gel medium, but it's a gloss gel medium instead of a matte. And you'll notice that the black gesso that I used to paint the black background is actually very matte. So I think once I've sort of finished this whole page, I'll go back and paint all of it with the soft gel medium in the gloss, so at least it all blends in together. So as I was waiting for that to dry, I decided to go around the outsides with my white pen. This is another source of frustration for me, because even though I dried it and it was dry to the touch, my pen wasn't working across the page. So I wasn't able to get nice lines. I wasn't able to do my journaling the way I wanted it to. And it was just sort of this one source of frustration over the other. So I was looking to see what I had that would write. As I was waiting, I got this thick chalk marker out to do a border and put around the page. When I then put on the lid, I found that it had leaked everywhere, because I've actually left it lying on its side. So all this chalk had leaked into the lid and it poured in front of me. So that's what I'm busy cleaning up at the moment. So just a word to the wise, if you've got one of these chalk markers, don't leave it on its side, leave it standing up or something. So I decided that looking at this, it didn't look the same as Scrappy Chicks, Courtney's, I think. I have to go and check her name again. I apologise if that's not your name. And it was really bugging me that I could see the background. So I just got out my black marker and filled in the background, which made the white words pop out. But in all honesty, I could have just got my white marker out and written these words on, instead of going to the trouble of gluing them down, trying to get them as transparent as possible, and then drawing around it with a black marker. So make of that as you will. If the white background or the collage tissue background doesn't bug you, go for it. When I actually contacted Scrappy Chick about hers and how amazing she made hers look, she'd actually trimmed out each individual word as close as she possibly could to the white, and then she'd painted around the edges that she could see with the black. So she has the same issue with me as that collage really bugging her as well. So when I'd finished doing that, I wanted to add a little bit more to my figures. I've got the new Dina Wakley washi tapes, so I had the faces and I thought I'd try sticking those on, and as you've seen probably in a few of my videos at the moment, I'm on this sticker height down on my figures face using the washi tape, so I did that too. So now I'm going to do some scribbly journaling around my figures, and this wasn't working brilliantly either. You can see my pen's just not doing what it's supposed to. These pens usually work beautifully over all these acrylic paints. I don't know what was happening with this, whether my pen's running out or if I was just being really impatient or pressing not as hard as I usually do. So yeah, so this is the final page. I'm really happy that I was able to have a go at it, and I really appreciate that Scrappy Chick put hers out there to inspire me, and it really did. I loved her original page. Mine doesn't quite live up to hers, so I'll try and leave a link to her site below so you can go and check out the original. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.